First up, we have Caitlin Bristow's Spade Sparrows 2020 Rosé. This is a fun blend. It has Barbera, Tempranillo, Grenache, Syrah, and Zin. So a lot of fun grapes going on in this wine, and I'm excited to tell you about not only some aromas, how it tastes on the palate, but gotta give you some fun food pairings for this porch pounder of a wine. We gave it a nice smell, kind of feel like we're getting into something good, right? So now take a sip, and I want you to swish it around your mouth. So we're not only doing that to taste all the delicious flavors that we smelled, right? Those fresh currants, cranberries, cherries, watermelon, but we're gonna feel for some textures too. And I'll talk you through that in just a sec. But in the meantime, go take a giant sip of wine. So what I was doing there was swishing it around, right, coating my cheeks and trying to feel for that acidity, that salivating, mouth-watering component. That is amazing quality inside of a rosé. It's showing you that it has nice, crisp flavors, a little bit of minerality, which is salinity, saltiness. So usually in rosé, we want to taste the fruit, right? So we talked about that. The red fruit, strawberries, cherries, currants, watermelon, brought up the melon, right? But then there's a couple other things that are pretty subtle, and do not feel bad if you don't get these. I have tasted a lot of different wines for a very long time to be able to distinguish these characteristics. So bottom line, just drink more wine, you'll get there. But two of those components are the minerality, that's salinity, and then also a floral component. So in a lot of rosés, we get kind of a dried rose petal. So think of just walking outside, stopping to smell the flowers. That's what you could taste literally inside of a rosé, or smell it. So that, along with the minerality, the fruit, and the acidity, is gonna make an ideal food pairing wine. So yeah, this is definitely a porch pounder where you could just be chugging it with a straw by the pool or on your patio or on your couch, but it's gonna be an amazing wine to pair with salty foods. Think fried, honestly. I love some potato chips with this wine. French fries, I love sushi. Sushi's probably one of my top favorite wine pairings with rosé. Last but not least, I like to go with something spicy. Usually spicy Mexican tacos are a really good pairing with this wine. So think of that off-dry fruitiness along with that acid, making it all come together in a beautiful profile. All right, next up we have Spade Sparrows Pinot Noir. This is one of my all-time favorite Pinots, all right guys? So you know the drill, we're gonna give it a little swirl, we're gonna give it a taste, and then we're gonna talk about some food pairings. So this is 100% Pinot Noir, grown out of California, so it makes it a little bit easier. You're gonna do your swirl. I kind of gave myself a heavy pour there, so don't spill it anywhere. And you wanna do the same thing. We're looking to smell not only fruit, but maybe some non-fruit components. I know that it's a little tough because I'm like, hey guys, try to smell something non-fruit related inside of a fruit, but the more you do it, the easier it gets. And something Pinot Noir is really known for is actually some organic earth characteristics. So think dirt, you guys. So think like you're walking outside, smell something a little bit naturey, you're smelling the potting soil, right? That is something commonly found inside of Pinot Noir in a lot of red wines. So let me give it a little sniff. Oh my God, it smells so good. So on the nose, initially, I do get all that beautiful fruit that Pinot Noir and California producers are known for. Spade Sparrows, Caitlin Bristow did an amazing job of making a really balanced Pinot. All right guys, now we're getting into some tannins. So we talked about a texture on the last wine, which is acidity, salivating. In red wine, we have tannins, which are the skins of the wine grape. So think of these Pinot Noir grapes as being crushed and fermented with their skins on. That's not only contributing to the beautiful color that we see in this glass, but also some textures in our cheeks, on our tongue. Kind of think of it as a drying sensation, could be a little gritty. So the beauty of Caitlin Bristow's Pinot Noir is it's so velvety and smooth. So even though we do technically get tannins, they're very nice and approachable. So hopefully on the palate, you are getting a little bit of that cinnamon, nutmeg, maybe to you it's espresso or chocolate. And again, all of our palates are different, and the more we taste and come together on some general conclusions about the wine, the easier it gets. So I hope everyone thought this one was nice and smooth and approachable, so you could picture yourself drinking it outside, nice and chilled on the patio with some barbecue, or inside watching Netflix on the couch. So let's get into some food pairings that I love to drink with this Pinot Noir. Pizzas, pastas, risottos. I really love doing like a flatbread pizza with truffle oil and fresh mushrooms paired alongside this Pinot. It not only enhances the dish, but it brings out the characteristics in the wine that you might not have noticed without trying it with that food pairing. So that is the beauty of food and wine. It can make each other complement and be amazing together. One last pairing I love with this is we gotta go with some savory, smoky meats. A big component of a lot of Pinot Noirs, and especially one like this, Caitlin Bristow's, coming out of California, is that volcanic soil, giving it some smoky components. So barbecue season is coming up. Anything you can think of on the grill, this is gonna be the perfect fit for it. All right, friends, now we're going to drink Caitlin Bristow's Pinot Grigio. So if you've had Pinot Grigio before, you might remember, again, that nice crisp profile. You're gonna get those nice stone fruits, think peaches, nectarines, apricots, and then I'll talk about a little bit more once we take a sip. But first step, let's give it a nice swirl, right? This is where we act like we know what we're doing, release those aromas, smell this super aromatic wine that we have in front of us. And hopefully you guys do pick up on something in this wine. Sometimes a wine is really dry and it's muted. This is not that. This one is very aromatic. Hopefully you get those stone fruits right off the bat. Maybe to you, you're getting more peaches, apricots, or you're getting apples and pears, right? So not every nose and palate is the same, but hopefully we could come together on a couple of general conclusions on the wine. So again, swirl, sniff, and now we're going to taste. To me, it's kind of on the juicy side, the ripe, juicy side. Nothing too tart, which is what makes me really like it and really wanting to pair it with the patio, with the pool, right? A lounge chair and a bottle of Pinot Grigio sounds perfect, right? It goes without saying that this wine is definitely another porch pounder. No food necessary, but I'm always thinking about food, let's be honest. So I'm gonna talk about a couple snacks I really like pairing Caitlin Bristow's Pinot Grigio with. So I like to think we're on that salty, savory side with this wine. It has a little bit of that salinity, that minerality, but it also has a lot of sweetness, fruit-driven qualities. So that's gonna match up to something spicy or savory. So let's think about it. Maybe our sushi again, right? That salty, sushi, spicy tuna roll. Or we could go maybe a cheese and charcuterie board. Some salty meats, you have your savory and salty cheeses. Think goat cheese, brie. You could even do like an Asiago or Parmesan. Last but not least, I actually love pairing this wine with prosciutto wrapped melon. So we've all had that before, right? Prosciutto wrapped honeydew, melon, super nice, light, perfect by the pool, patio, wherever you want to enjoy this beautiful wine. All right, friends, now we're getting into Caitlin Bristow's Cabernet Sauvignon. So this is the big boy of all the wines that she has under her Spade Sparrows line. You're gonna get amazing fruit, you're gonna get that earthiness, and I'm gonna walk you through it all. So now you have it mastered. Let's take a little bit of a swirl and a sniff, see what we get on the aroma. So with Cabernet, it's a fuller bodied wine, right? So you wanna let it open up a bit. So I had my cork out for about 30 minutes. You could use a decanter if you like as well to really let those juices marinate. And if you do, it's gonna release some beautiful scents. So not only is Cabernet Sauv known for those fruit-driven qualities, you're gonna get a little bit of some smoky or earthy qualities. So Spade Sparrows Cabernet Sauv is known for that savory, tobacco leaf, a little bit of that woodsy type of scent going on. It's really subtle, so it's not overpowering those juicy dark plums, boysenberries, and really nice ripe fruit. Now we want to take a really big sip, coat your mouth with all that delicious Cabernet Sauv, get those tannins feeling on your cheeks, on your tongue, roof of your mouth. Let's go. So even though Cabernet Sauv is a medium to full-bodied wine, Caitlin Bristow's wine, she made it in such a smooth and approachable way that I really do enjoy this just by itself, right? I'm getting those fruits, I'm getting a little smokiness, I get a little bit of this like bacon savory component too. It's amazing. It's making me crave like all the meat right now. One of my absolute favorites has to be something savory, meaty. Gotta go with a sausage and mushroom based pizza. so good. Perfect night in on the couch, right? You got your show on, your Spade Sparrows Cabernet Sauv, a giant pizza that either you're eating by yourself like I do, or you're sharing it with a loved one, right? Being a little generous. That's gonna be delicious. You could also go with some chocolate. So I do like to say chocolate can be tricky with pairing with certain wines, but because this Cabernet Sauv is so smooth and velvety, and it actually has some notes of those baking spices, the toasted vanilla, espresso, mocha, cocoa, that could bring out amazing qualities in a dark chocolate-based dish. So if you're feeling like you have a little sweet tooth to go with your wine, you could have your wine and your chocolate cake too.